Good morning, everybody. Happy August 21st. We're about ready to take off for my retirement ceremony here at Petco Park. Excited that we can have this opportunity to film it and document it for all my family for many, many years, but also to have you guys along to see the kind of behind the scenes look on how nervous I am today and kind of all the fun stuff that's going to happen. So come on. Seems like a long time ago, but it goes by in a flash. And it's something that people tell you when they first meet you and you're a rookie. Enjoy it because it's going to go by pretty quick. And 18 years shouldn't have gone as fast as it did. But in thinking back of being drafted and being so green, and the Reds locker room with so many great players and a team that had success in winning the World Series in 1990, it was a situation where you didn't say much. You sat in the corner and observed. I was pretty lucky to have that atmosphere to grow up in. Thanks for coming. Getting honored before the game, I think when Hell's Bells gets played, because I'm pretty sure it will, we understand it's not going to be playing too many more times.
So cool.
It is pretty cool, buddy. It's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be exciting to see. I'm sure a lot of former teammates that were able to come in and celebrate this with us, and it's going to be an all-around great day. I'm going to take 2 bells and then I'll turn around and wait for you guys.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Petco Park. I'm Ted Leitner. It is my honor and privilege to be here today with you for only the historic 5th time in the history of a franchise that goes back to 1969 to retire a number. And think of this, that an organization thinks so highly of you because of your talent, your commitment, your integrity, your character, that they decide that no one forevermore will wear the same number that you wore. And I know baseball fans, baseball broadcasters, we love to argue. So we argue who's better, who's the best. But there is no argument. this is not a Padre broadcast bias. It's not a Padre fan bias. We know this. The only true measure of a closer is how many saves did you get. So today, without any fear of argument, I tell you that today the San Diego Padres retire the number of truly, by that benchmark, the only benchmark, the greatest closer in the history of Major League Baseball. And I know that the numbers are overwhelming. 601 saves, my gosh. 552 in a Padre uniform. A 287 earned run average, the lowest in Padre history. 7 times an All-Star. Multiple times in the top 10 for National League Cy Young Award. Multiple times in the top 10 for National League Most Valuable Player. But I think you know him as we do, that it goes way beyond the numbers to integrity, leadership, and an amazing character, the likes of which to denigrate no other ball players, I personally have never seen before. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I direct your attention to, well, of course, of all places, the Padre bullpen. And number 51, Trevor Hoffman. Trevor, welcome back home, son. Trevor, of course, accompanied by Tracy and their boys, Brody, Quinn, and Wyatt. I don't know how to tell the story of his reputation, having seen it in these clubhouses here in Qualcomm, and players who would tell us, even when they were here and when they went to other clubs, what's your greatest moment as a Padre? It was never about them. It was about, oh my gosh, I'd sit in the bullpen or I'd sit in the dugout and hear Hell's Bells, and I had goosebumps just watching this guy, how he went about his business, and that's how I learned how to be a pro. So let's start with the foundation that taught him all these things that he then passed on to so many other Padre players and with his other several teams. With his mom, Mickey, and his older brothers, Greg, and I think you know Glenn Hoffman, right here at home plate. While they get situated up here, let me direct your attention for the first but not the last time to the video screens, and we'll take a look back at the formative years of Greg and Glenn and their little brother, Trevor Hoffman.
Look at Dad. Look at him.
Yeah,
Look at
I
the
know.
old Bonneville in the background. Well, look at his legs. I mean, you can tell it's a Hoffman legs.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the calves and everything. Look how Dad's arms just wrapped around him and protecting that right arm.
Yeah,
Already at that age.
He's already got it up
He's
there.
already got it protected. There he is.
Yep.
The All-Star.
That's right. He's got the stars going on.
I think that's the move I was teaching him as a third base coach.
It was like stop here.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy so happy in my life either. Yeah, look at him, his cigar.
Cigar. There it is.
There you go. Mom was like fanatical about camping during the
Once a
summer.
year.
We had to go. It was a great time. Dad would have his transistor radio and listen to Angels and the Dodger games. Yeah. And Trevor he would just chase us around. We'd try and get rid of him. He chases around everywhere.
That's when I made All-Stars. Look at him. He's hanging around. That's pretty cool.
Look at
Hey,
that.
baseball's in his blood.
Yeah.
Trev would be the bat boy when he got a little bit older.
Yeah, that's right. There's the broken leg, yeah. And so it didn't stop him for a second. He kept chasing us around.
This is when they came out, the family, Dad, and
Was that Tudor?
that's John Tudor. And then
Oh,
Trev
Sock.
must have been for the All-Star break, right before the All-Star break. Hey, he's following on our numbers.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Family number 15.
15 for basketball, but baseball, he was so small they gave him number 1.
They gave him number 1. But basically it became 15, and then when he got to the Major League, Bochy had it. And so he flipped it, and that's how he got 51. But this is, he was 5'0", 100 nothing, and couldn't throw across a diamond. And when he hit his senior year in college, he was rated number 1 arm in college baseball. Talk about never giving up. That's when he started really growing a little bit, right here. He was actually a better basketball player in high school than he was a baseball player.
We had a wall, and we'd have battles back there. And Trev would always try to play against us, and we'd beat him 10-0 or whatever. Dad would make him play. Say, yeah, he's got to play, and that would get him better. But you had to give him a chance. And so when he got the chance, he was all out, and sit down in 5 minutes. And then finally the day came when he held his ground and took it to us, didn't it? Well, there's the Hoffman.
Yeah.
Huh? Looks like all of them. Trev had the blue eyes.
Yeah, I know.
Huh? That's his dog Grounder. That was a puppy. Remember when he painted my dog blue?
Yeah. Trouble.
So he's wearing my own old uniform right there.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. Hey, this is where it started to happen.
Yeah,
Cypress College,
started to turn around. Coach Pickler, Scott Pickler is an awesome baseball coach. He had a great tutor for those 2 years. Changed his life.
There's another one changed his life, Trace.
Yeah, yeah. Be at the beach is where it was at. Body surfing we all body surf.
This is so neat with Mom and Trev's boys, because I remember back when he'd come to Fenway and he'd take batting practice and he'd try to hit this wall, and he wasn't old enough or strong enough to get it. So when he went back in '99 for the All-Star game, quite cool. Well, we've come a long ways. Kids are grown. I think as a family man, outstanding. The way he's raising his kids the right way. And from a professional standpoint, the new chapter in his life. The game goes on with or without us. And he's always been a part of the game, and he's going to be a part of the game in our hearts and our memories. And now the retirement's happened, there's a new chapter. And I think whatever he does, he's going to do the best he can at it, and it'll be good.
I think that you watch a little skinny guy grow into a big, strong man that people admire. And to be honest with you, I'm prouder of him as a person than I ever could be as a ball player.
I remember in an interview one time, Trevor told me that he came home from a Little League game and Greg asked him, "How'd you do?" And he said, "I was 2 for 3 RBIs. And Greg said, No. When I say that, I don't mean how you did. I mean, how did your team do? That's what matters." Hey, Greg, thank you. You laid a foundation, and that's the kind of player this man became. Team first and only. I'd like to welcome to the stage now State Assemblyman Nathan Fletcher, County Supervisor Bill Horn, and the Honorable Jerry Sanders, Mayor of the City of San Diego, a special presentation on behalf of all of us, the people of San Diego. They each have a proclamation making today, August 21, 2011, Trevor Hoffman Day in the County of San Diego and the City of San Diego. Thank you, gentlemen. Time to introduce people who have been with Trevor a long time. Familiar faces, friends, family. In this section right here, Trevor's agent, Rick Thurman, former Padre executives of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Florida Marlins who are here today. We thank them and thank them for giving us Trevor Hoffman. Thank you, Marlins. And by the way, thank you to this present Padre leadership, which said, why do this years from now? It's Trevor Hoffman. Do it now. Jeff Morad, Tom Garfinkel, and Jed Hoyer. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's get started with these players from his past. Trev, I gotta have you only one place to meet these guys. Where else? On the mound, on the rubber. Let's get started. Trevor Hoffman, this is your life. Our first group of guests instrumental in shaping this young athlete that Greg and Glenn were talking about to an eventual major league superstar, for heaven's sakes. Trevor's high school basketball coach at Savannah High School in Anaheim. Here's Tom Gregory. After finishing high school, no offers to play college ball for Trev, so he went on to play at Cypress Community College. Please welcome the Cypress Community College coach, Scott Pickler, right here. After 2 years of success at Cypress, to the University of Arizona, play some shortstop there for former Wildcat head coach Jerry Kindle. And by the way, this was no average team that he was the starting shortstop on. They had a future major leaguer who threw an eventual no-hitter by the name of Scott Erickson, and as good a first baseman with a glove that I ever saw, J.T. Snow, right here. Before we knew it, Jerry, Scott, JT, they knew what kind of a guy this was, what kind of a player he was. Let's go to the videotape and the boards once again for a clip of that fun-loving kid there at the University of Arizona in Tucson.
All right, Dan Harnan. This is Trevor Hoffman talking to you live on Channel 4 KVOA, and excuse me, Jack.
You're known on this team as a comedian, also a very good impersonator of Bobby Knight. One real quick one.
Coach Knight, play defense with your hands, not your feet. Great. Years of experience underneath the television camera. You've done well at being a politician on the air. Thank you, Travis. Thank you.
Following U of A, drafted in the '89 draft, 11th round by the Cincinnati Reds. Had a great arm. They thought, how this impacted baseball. Let's make him into a pitcher. So thank you to his former pitching coach, Mike Griffin, for that amazing decision.
Trevor was our shortstop in 1990 in Charleston, West Virginia. We saw a strong arm from Trevor and a great athlete that Trevor was. We made a phone call to our farm director that year at about the halfway point during the season, deciding that maybe we should try to give Trevor a chance on the mound just because of his arm strength. And I believe that his first mound or side mound was in Greensboro, North Carolina, and after about the 5th pitch, my mouth dropped to the floor. floor, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I saw a tremendous athlete take to pitching like I have never seen before. Just on his delivery was so smooth and so quiet, and everything just flowed so freely that I made a phone call back saying I think we may have something here.
Yeah, May. What a decision. Then in '92, Trevor taken by these Florida Marlins in the expansion draft when they began in Major League Baseball a year later. 28 games, 2 saves, and then changing coasts in '93. And remember in that trade how the big mouth guy on Channel 8, and a lot of others thought, oh, bad trade, and we picked on this guy. Thank you, former general manager, now Padre, director of operations international, for making that trade. Thank you, Randy Smith. He threw hard back then. He was mid-90s, but as you remember, hurt his shoulder, needed another pitch. Another great trade that Randy Smith made, which was kind of poo-hooed at the time. But this guy, who was acquired by from Atlanta by Randy, taught Trevor to throw the changeup. Thank you, Donnie Elliott. Of all the influences, I'm not sure who has the most courage and the most character, but they've been inseparable. His former bullpen coach, who was a marvelous player at the University of Minnesota, and a brain tumor ended his career, but not his leadership and character. Here's Mark Marilla. Well, I mentioned character and integrity. That pretty well sums it up. He flew more missions in combat than I've taken flights. He's been a mentor to Trevor, and by gosh, he's been a mentor to me in my 32 years of his 39. A great Yankee, a great Marine, a great Padre. Here's Jerry Coleman. Yeah. The Padre pitching coach from the '98 World Series team and National League champions. You couldn't have him as a pitching coach and not get tougher. Here's Stu. Dave Stewart. And in case you wonder how Trevor got better and how the organization can pick up guys like Langring and Adams and Bell and make them become some of the top relievers in all of baseball, here's why. Pitching coach Darren Bosley, and speaking of courage and toughness, bullpen coach Darryl Ackerfels. And the same goes for a former pitching coach with his input, the 2010 Manager of the Year in the National League, skipper Buddy Black. Let's get to some of Trevor's catchers and how important they are. And you know them well as former Padres. Brian Johnson and Gold Glove winner Brad Ausmus. As a rookie, came up in the second half of the '08 season, Trevor's final season, and caught him and learned from him and had a really nice night last night. Here's Nicky Hundley. Hundreds of teammates through the years. That '96 team that clinched it against the Dodgers in that final weekend in LA. The guy who got the big knock, the double, Chris Gwynn. Arky Sinfraco. pitcher Joey Hamilton. And a Gold Glove center fielder as good as we ever had, Steve Finley. Another great teammate from the '96 team. There's never been a greater leadoff man in the history of baseball. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's a former Padre. Here's Ricky Henderson. Then came that amazing year of '98. 53 out of 54 saves and save opportunities. A 1.48, and took his club to the division, the National League Championship. What a pitching staff for 98 wins. On that staff with Trevor, Donnie Wall right here, and Brian Boehringer, Andy Ashby, and the National League champion, MVP, Hitch is back home. Here's Sterling Hitchcock. Then the new century and new teammates, outfielder Mark Sweeney, Brett Boone, Kevin Jarvis, and Ryan Klesko. Then the move from Qualcomm to this marvelous, marvelous Petco Park. And the gentlemen who with Trevor were here on the first day, opening day, against the Giants in the new park. Welcome back, Boomer and Jilly, David Wells and Brian Giles. Then back to the winning ways from '04 to '07. 2 more division titles in '05 and '06 with reliever Rudy Cianez, and a couple of players that the late great Duke Snyder once told me his favorite Padre players of all time, Dave Roberts and Mark Loretta. More teammates gracious enough to be part of this as members of the Florida Marlins. Yesterday's starter and former Padre Clay Hensley, and another great former Padre center fielder and Gold Glover, Mike Cameron. Three more players who played with him and I'm sure would say learned from him. Welcome back, Chris Young, Joe Thatcher, Chase Headley, and the man who succeeded him so seamlessly and so well, another great Padre reliever, Heath Bell. You know, of course, this is a franchise historically known for relievers, with Goose Gossage, Mark Davis, and the gentleman you've seen and the guy who started it all, Hall of Famer Raleigh Fingers. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we would be remiss if we didn't mention some teammates of Trevor's and friends of ours who are gone, but literally live forever in our hearts. From that championship club of the late '90s, nobody forgets the great Ken Caminetti. And here is his wife, Nancy Caminetti. Nancy, thank you for being here. We lost a marvelous, energetic outfielder who joined the club in '99 and in a car accident. We lost him in spring training of 2002. That was Mike Darr. Would you welcome his wife, Natalie Dar. Thank you, Natalie. In 2003, another of the great Padre closers, though only here for a brief time. After Trevor was out that 03 season with the shoulder surgery, we miss shooter Rod Beck. Would you welcome, please, his wife, Stacy Beck. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you would again turn to the video board with a retrospective of what this man has meant to so many of his teammates, so many through the years.
When I think of Trevor, I think of a man who brought integrity, who brought charisma, who brought himself to the ballpark every day to help wherever he could. Now, there's so many pitchers that he went through the years that he taught and helped. And with Trevor Hoffman, I think of the man that he was more than the pitcher that he was.
Trevor was never one of the guys who shied away from the younger players. Trevor always was there to answer questions, to help me along the way.
You know, you really can't speak in words how good of a guy he is. You know, there's not too many people like him, really, in the whole game. This game's been going on over 100 years, so you know, he's just a classy guy, and you know, I was honored just to be his teammate for the short time that I was.
He was always a team guy. He was always the guy who wanted the players to go have dinner together.
He was more than just numbers. His dedication, how great he was with kids, being a great ambassador to the game. He's just a special player for me.
He did play for the Padre organization, and Padres were everything to him.
The one thing that I think I learned from Trevor, just watching him from the booth, was that no matter how well he did or how poorly he did on the field, which was, you know, not a lot, obviously, but he was always the same. He was the epitome of a guy turning the page.
As he started to establish himself, you started to see things, his work ethic. You started to see how involved he was in the community. You started to see how involved he was with family, and you know, those things were very important to him. And all the years that I played with him, that never changed. That fire was always there.
I've never seen anyone engender more respect and love, who could run with the guys, pal with the guys, and yet in a closed clubhouse meeting, it's like E.F. Hutton. When Trevor talked, they listened.
He's made everybody feel good around him, and Dad would be so proud. I mean, he was proud of all of his sons, all three of us, and it's came through him in his eyes to wherever he went, and this is no exception.
It takes more than just talent to pass the test of time, and Trevor's done that. And you look at the guys in the Hall of Fame, that's what they have done, and Trevor's headed that way.
Integrity was his middle name. Integrity was Trevor Hoffman.
Like we were saying, Ed and Mickey and his brothers turned out some kind of a man. They have all these relievers now in Major League Baseball that have all these songs, and you, of course, and I know where it started. It started here in that magical summer of 1998 when he came out for the first time to get, of course, yet another save, and they played Hell's Bells. A Padre and a Padre tradition only through the years. To the video board once again.
I would run inside, get ice on, and run back out as fast as I could just to hear the Hell's Bells. And I mean, every time you hear it, even when we would play it, you just get chills, you know, on your skin, up your spine. So it's just, there's never going to be another person like that. You know, there's never going to be a song that fits somebody so well.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Johnson here from AC/DC, and all the boys want to congratulate Trevor Hoffman on an amazing career. We're really proud of the fact that you picked our song Hell's Bells for your entrance for maybe a decade or more. And you know what it is, when we played that song at concerts, we used to rock the crowd, but you rocked the mountain, mate. And so, you know what, Trevor? You're rolling thunder, pouring rain, coming on like a hurricane, Hell's Bells. So once again, congratulations, mate, from Angus and Malcolm, Cliff and Phil, and myself, Brian. Just give 'em hell, kid. You are.
How cool was that? Hey, Wiz. A final message to the video board. He's been a fan of his for a long, long time because he happens to love baseball as well as running baseball. The commissioner of Major League Baseball, Mr. Bud Selig.
Hello, Trevor. On behalf of Major League Baseball, it is my distinct honor to congratulate you as your number 51 is retired by the club with which you will be forever linked, the San Diego Padres. You are Major League Baseball's all-time saves leader with 601 career saves, and you were a 7-time National League All-Star. Your brilliant 1998 season helped spark the club's memorable run to the 1998 World Series, capping a season full of excitement at Qualcomm Stadium. Then you helped usher in a new era of Padres baseball at beautiful Petco Park. When one thinks of the greatest Padres ever, the names that spring to mind are Tony Gwynn, Dave Winfield, and now I'm proud to say Trevor Hoffman. I look forward to the day less than 5 years from now when you will join them in the Hall of Fame as one of the great relief pitchers this game has ever seen. You always brought excellence to the uniform, but more importantly, you brought honor to the city of San Diego, doing remarkable work for so many worthy causes. During your final 2 years in Milwaukee, I was privileged to witness firsthand what an extraordinary man you are on and off the field. You represented all the best of our great game during your 18-year career. Today, Major League Baseball and its 30 clubs salute you and all that you have done for our national pastime. I wish you and your wonderful family all of the best. Congratulations, Trevor. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's that time. While we're here, and while, as the Commissioner said, we will be there 5 years from now in Cooperstown, New York, for his induction, I am quite sure, into the Baseball Hall of Fame. The retirement of number 51, once again, never to be worn by any Padre in future generations. I direct your attention to center field to see the players, the four that preceded Trevor Hoffman as retired numbers in the San Diego Padre history. Ladies and gentlemen, He hit the single biggest home run in Padre history, I believe. That signing here and leaving the Dodgers to put the Padres on the map in the early 80s is just as important. Welcome home the Garv, Steve Garvey. $3,141 hits, 16 All-Star appearances, 5 Gold Gloves. Another man of incredible character and integrity, and a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Number 19, Tony Gwynn. One of only 7 players in baseball history to have 3,000 hits and 450 home runs. More RBIs, my gosh, than Joe DiMaggio. No minor leagues, right to the Padres, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2001. Oh my gosh, what a ball player. Now Padre Vice President, number 31, Dave Winfield. He, I do believe, has put the Padres on the map in the origin, right after the inception in '69 into the '70s. Cy Young Award winner, 22-game winner, a 2.74 lifetime ERA, or ERA in 1976, and has represented his franchise, I believe, so well since. Number 35, here's the lefty, Randy Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, the players previous to number 51, with their numbers retired by the San Diego Padres. We invite them to come on the stage now with Trevor. And we will get to the moment that we are gathered here today for and before this baseball game. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I direct your attention to the batter's eye, where we will add one more number. I need, if I can, to ask you to help me here on a little NASA-like 10-second countdown to get to that moment with 10, 9, ladies and gentlemen, the number 51, worn by the great Trevor Hoffman, now officially retired and never to be worn again, as mentioned by a Padre player. Congratulations, Hoffy. Awesome. I would like to call to the stage now members of this Padre leadership who insisted, as I said before, don't wait. It's Trevor, for heaven's sakes. Let's do this now. Padre President and Chief Operating Officer Tom Garfinkel, General Manager Jed Hoyer, and a guy who's been kind of busy lately, signing 25 of the 26 draft choices for about $11 million, investing both his money and his heart in the future of the San Diego Padres. Team owner, Vice Chairman Jeff Morad.
Thank you, Ted. We're truly honored to be here today and share this amazing moment with all of you, and I thank you for coming. I personally wanted to thank a friend, Mark Antanasio, the owner of the Milwaukee Brewers, who's here today. Thank you, Mark, for coming, along with your president, Rick Schlesinger, and your general manager, Doug Melvin. That was Trevor's last team. We had 500, they got 600. That's okay. We got today. I also want to thank David Sampson from the Florida Marlins. David, thank you for being here and bringing your club. We appreciate you representing the Marlins ownership, obviously the team that preceded us. Thank you. One of the first things that Tom and I discussed with John Moores when we first came to San Diego was how we felt we needed to bring Trevor back to the San Diego Padres. Trevor, you truly embody the spirit of giving back to the San Diego community, and as you've heard today, you're not only revered as a great teammate, but as a great person. The Padres are honored to retire your number today. It's an incredibly special day for all of us, and we're proud to unveil the number 51 atop the batter's eye. Now we have a special gift for you. You might recall that the club gave you an award after your 500th save. It was before I got here, but I saw film of it, and it was a golden pitching rubber. Now, we left a blank spot on that pitching rubber to fill in the total amount of saves in your career. So now, Jed Hoyer is going to present you the golden pitching rubber, and it has your 601 now engraved on it. Congratulations. But you know, we actually had one more special gift as well. We're excited to do something that we thought might be a little different. We talked to a lot of people about what might be appropriate to give you. We heard stories about how your dad used to drive you and your brothers around. We also know you've taken a particular liking to convertibles. So if you look in left field, you'll see a present that we felt appropriate. A 1958 mint condition Cadillac convertible that you and your sons can drive around. All right, you got those keys in your pocket? I got them. That's awesome. Congratulations, Trevor Hoffman. Thank you for everything you've done for the San Diego Padres and the San Diego community. You're up still, kid?
Ladies and gentlemen, a privilege and an honor. On behalf of the Padre organization, on behalf of all my fellow broadcasters who are lucky enough, like I was, to broadcast these games and watch this player play, on behalf of all of you in this stadium today and all of you watching on Channel 4 and listening on XX Sports Radio, I present to you a great player, a great talent, a great competitor, and a great Padre, number 51, Trevor Hoffman.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm going to take a little page out of Tony's book, and that's what I'm going to say is thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been an unbelievable day. Have a seat. Let's sit down and talk for a little bit. How do you top all this? This is unbelievable. I mean, a guy's dream come true to have something like this bestowed upon one person. To hear all these wonderful things said about you and talked about and people come back and see you. It's hard to put this in perspective. It's something that I just got to pinch myself and go, this is amazing. But I do need to talk to a few people, and those are the folks that are behind me, my foundation. And that starts with Tracy, my wife. 18 years she plugged away at this game with me, and it was her love of family and faith that kept us together and kept us going strong on the right path. Because every time I'd go off to work, she'd make sure that I was ready to go, I was focused, I was prepared to do my job. I love you for that, honey. I can't thank you enough for being able to do that for me. You gave me 3 wonderful children, 3 wonderful boys, Brody, Quinn, and Wyatt. If this doesn't touch your heart, I don't know what will, boys. This is something that Daddy, one person doesn't deserve all this. You guys have had an opportunity to grow up in that clubhouse your whole life. And I hope you understand the quality of people that you've been in contact with your whole life that have walked through those doors. Whether it started with Brian and Tony and Spence and all the rest of the crew, the things that you learned. You were raised by a village. A lot of the things that Mom and Dad talked to you about and the things that Grandma showed you, we're living in that clubhouse. It was a privilege to be in there, and I appreciate the way you guys respected that. I had an opportunity to watch Tony again raise Anthony into a fine young man. Somebody that I'm proud to know and somebody I'm proud to have competed against. This one might get me because it's always a little bit tough talking about Mom and Dad and to see the Marine Corps behind me. But I'll tell you what, they had a true love story. A love story that inspired all of us kids. And we miss them. But it was their commitment to values that they passed on to all 3 of us. And the things that we stand for come from the things that they taught us. And it gives me great pleasure, Mom, to say I love you and I thank you for the things that you taught us. The luckiest kid around to have 2 big brothers paving the way. You get to be a punk, you get to be in the way of everything, and they always have to pick up the mess, and you guys always have. Sorry about that. But I mean that. To have the leadership, the focus, and the wisdom that you guys had to pass along to me, to have a day like this to share with you. You were coaching me from the time I was a little kid. One of those pictures you might have seen a broken leg. I didn't really ask for all of it, but that stuff happens. But it was right. Teddy said it. I came home from a game one day, and I started out small and wasn't able to really do very many things as a little leaguer, and I was proud as heck to come home one day to tell everybody how well I did. And he baited me. He knew I had a good game. He goes, "Hey, how'd you do?" And Teddy was right on. I couldn't wait to get out 2 for 4 and a ribby, and he looked me in the eye and he said, "That'll be the last time when I say you, I'm talking to you." Took me a little while to figure it out, but it's those type of lessons that I learned from you that I've been able to carry on into the clubhouses that I've gone along the way that have meant so much to my teammates. Thank you, Greg. And I got big brother Glenn here. One of the most respected guys in the game that I know. All the things you hear about me, you hear about him as well. And at 17 years old, the game took him away from me. 7-year-old kid sitting at the house and wanted my buddy to play with. I wanted someone to tag along with and go to his practices and his games. And I wasn't very happy about that. Elmira, New York, I didn't know where the heck that was at. But I was fortunate enough for the game to bring us back together here in San Diego, and to share that uniform together was a lifetime dream. Because I got to see firsthand the work ethic that he put forth into his job. I can only imagine what it was like to have played with you, but it was an honor to be a part of your staff. Thank you, Glenn. We definitely walked down memory lane, didn't we? Seeing all my former teammates and stuff coming out. I'll tell you, you guys came from far and wide, and I appreciate you guys making the time to be here with us today. The times that we spent competing inside these lines is something that is sacred, and I took it serious every time we had a chance to come on this field. But inside that clubhouse is just as sacred, and I appreciate the times that you shared with me and the love that you showed me and the emotions that we shared was very impressive, and I appreciate being a part of that. To you fans, wow. Thank you. Randy Smith brought me over here from Florida. Had no idea what I was going to be walking into, and Glenn said a long time ago, this is going to be the best movie of your career. You were right. You guys have always had my back, and I appreciate every opportunity I had to step on this mound, step at Jack Murphy, Qualcomm, to do my work for you guys. I was wanting to make sure that I did the job that was in front of me to the best of my ability each time I popped out in front of you. And it was in 1998 that song Hell's Bells was introduced, and boy, it took a life of its own, didn't it? I can't begin to tell you the emotions that one person can feel sitting 450 feet away waiting for that first bell to hit, so I could feel the energy from all of you guys. If you needed an adrenaline kick, you guys gave it to me. I've had an opportunity to go across the leagues, major leagues, and see a lot of the numbers that are displayed proudly in each ballpark that's there. And you understand who they represent and what they stood for. And today is an emotional day. It's a special day. And I want to thank all our ownership here to bestow this great honor on me, the opportunity to have played for Mr. Attanasio in Milwaukee, and the folks in Florida. They're forever indebted to me. I appreciate everything you guys gave me. When I look up there and I see that number, I want you guys to remember that that guy cared about being a teammate and that he understood that to achieve true success, there's no shortcuts. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Trevor Hoffman. Thank you, Trev. Great job. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can ask you to remain standing and remove your caps if you would. Behind me, and how fitting, the United States Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron Color Guard. We've talked so much about the dad, Ed Hoffman, today, a United States Marine fighting at Iwo Jima for his country. And not just a great father and husband as we've seen today, but a gentleman who loved baseball as he loved his boys, loved to sing, sang the national anthem at Angels games, passed away in 1995. Here's another gift from the Padre organization for Trevor, for Mickey, for Greg, and for Glenn. From the day in 1981 when Ed Hoffman sang the national anthem at Fenway Park in Boston on opening day, introduced by the late great and a dear friend, then the voice of the White Sox, Harry Carey.
Ed Hoffman will be singing our national anthem from Southern California, and his son is just as proud of him as he must be of his son. The father singing the national anthem, the son playing shortstop. Gets a great hand from the crowd. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's all enjoy our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, that old Marine, Ed Hoffman, was here with us in spirit, and now he was here with us singing the national anthem. What a moment. Thank you. Let's have the first pitch of this ball game, delivered by Brody, Quinn, and Wyatt to Uncle Greg, Uncle Glenn, Trevor Hoffman.
Don't bounce me.
Thank you so much for being here on this historic occasion.
A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. And this time he did strike him out. Man, you can hang a star on the entire season. Oh, doctor!
I remember the day we got him from Florida, and we were standing out in the outfield, and I told him, I said, you know what, you're going to have a huge impact on this club. And you know, he's a young guy. I don't think really grasped what I was talking about at that particular time, but because at the time we had a closer already. But you could see that was the role that he was, he was tailor-made for. Hopefully 4 years from now, be there in Cooperstown to welcome you there too. And you did it the right way, man. We're really proud of you and proud of the way you took care of your business. And again, we all focus on what happened on the field, but for us who were around you, we focus a lot of times about the clubhouse, about the community, about just doing things the right way. You did it right, man. So congratulations.
You don't have to interact with the person to know what he does, to know what his abilities and he decides. You know, and I have seen him pitching and known that he wants to do good for his team. You know, and he's giving everything that he has to help the team win. So I mean, when you see a player like that, you know, you have to tip your hat. Hey Trevor, Mariano, man, congratulations. I wish you the best, you and your family. Well job, well deserved, well done. Have a good retirement. Enjoy. Do the best that you can do for others. And God bless you and your family, my brother.
You know, I was thinking yesterday, 21 years ago, almost to the date, the experiment started in Charleston, West Virginia. And who would have believed it would have led to a Hall of Fame career? So once again, I know this probably won't be the last speech you make. In 5 years, I hope to make that trip to Cooperstown when you make another speech to the Grand Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Trevor, on your induction.
For you, I just really appreciate what you did those couple of years that I had the good fortune of managing you, and just to watch you from the other dugout to do what you did. It's unbelievably impressive. Nobody gets 600 saves. For you to do that, it's just off the chart. And again, congratulations.
Trev, congratulations on having your number retired. Couldn't happen to a better guy, a great teammate. I'm honored to have worn the Padre uniform with you. So enjoy. This is a great day for Padre baseball, Trev. I'm glad to be here to share it with you.
Hey Trevor, congratulations for all your accomplishments. It was my honor and a pleasure of mine just being your teammates for 2 years, and I'm gonna try to make you proud and do everything I can to kind of live up to you. But you're an icon, you're a legend, and hey, congratulations, man. You deserve it.
One more out and the Padres will raise the flag in San Diego. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's on the way to Tucker. Drive left center field in the air. Coming on quickly, Finley. He's under, he's got it. And the Padres drape the National League flag around their shoulders for 1998. Ho-ho, Doctor!
Trevor, congratulations on today, having number 51 retired. Can't thank you enough for all the memories that you gave me as an executive here with the Padres. You made my job very, very easy. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see you in Cooperstown here in about 5 years. You're one of the best that the game's ever known. I was happy to have you as a teammate and with the Padres, and you're a special man and a good husband, a great father, a great ambassador for our game, and all in all, a great Padre. Congratulations, Trevor.
Hi, I'm Tim Flannery. Sorry I can't be there tonight. Trevor Hoffman, amazing career, amazing man. Congratulations. Wish I could be there. I could go on and on about you. What a warrior, what a champion, what a man. Congratulations, Trevor.
I'm sorry I can't be there tonight, Trevor. I do want to congratulate you on a tremendous career, and also helping me still being a manager today with all you did for me. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
In 2003, Trevor had an injury and missed a significant amount of time. And every time the team went on the road, Trevor would stay back and do some rehab. But every time we came in and flew into San Diego Airport and then took the buses to the queue, he would be there with the clubbies and the guys taking the bags with a spread of P.F. Chang's or some kind of Rubio's or something like that to just greet the guys. It was every time we came in, and that was special. He didn't have to do that. Obviously, he was upset that he couldn't be with the team, but it was just a gesture that, wow, this guy really cares about his teammates, and I'll never forget that. Trevor, congratulations on a tremendous career. It was my privilege to be your teammate, and I'm very happy and excited that number 51 will be on that wall forever. Congratulations, buddy.
There it is! 478!
Trevor, congratulations.
It has been my privilege to broadcast your games, almost all of them, seeing all these saves, and know that I can tell my grandchildren I was broadcasting and saw the greatest closer of all time. And not just the greatest closer, but the greatest professional in terms of preparation, professionalism, dealing with fans and media, giving of his time in the community. You are the greatest. I've been privileged to call you friend and to watch these broadcasts.
My compliments to you, my friend. I think you're one of the great people on this earth, one of the great pitchers on this earth, and just outstanding in every way.
You know, on behalf of everybody at Channel 4, everybody in San Diego, we were just so fortunate to have number 51 trot out to the mound in a safe situation. And just the way you handled yourself, you, my friend, are the epitome of San Diego Padres baseball. And with great pride, everybody who comes to the ballpark now will see number 51 up above that batter's eye and remember that you were the greatest closer of all time. Congratulations.
When I caught him in the mid-90s, he threw in the mid-90s. He was throwing 93, 94, 95 miles an hour. And this was prior to the development of his changeup, which certainly changed the course of his career. But he was a power pitcher, shifted from shortstop, and he was a dominant power pitcher. And that changeup just made him the best closer of all time. Trev, congratulations on a great career with the Marlins, the Brewers, and of course the Padres. I love being your teammate, love being your friend. You're a Hall of Fame pitcher and not a very good surfer.
Son, let me show you how it's done.
Keep on believing. Keep faith.
I thought he was excellent. He definitely was light on his feet, but you did well too.
Arthur, you're looking dynamite.
Digging your threads as well, my brother.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Dude, we're getting primed for Retro Night. Check out Greg. He's styling for Retro Night.
What's Retro Night?
She looks like a flower, but she stings like a bee.
She banged. She banged.
Oh, baby.
She moved. She moved.
That's perfect. That's all.
Coming in is Briley. He's calling for it. He's got it.
Trevor Hauer is 1 out away from picking up a save. Cole hits it high, right center field. It's a catchable ball. Going forward is Gwynn. Gwynn, way back is Gwynn. He's already has it for the third and final out.
How about number 100, April 13th, 1997 in Philadelphia.
Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way to Giambi, and there's a swing and a miss. He struck him out, and there's the ball game. Got him with a fastball, and the Padres wrap it up.
And a high fly ball toward the right field line. Mike Dar coming on. And Trevor Hoffman has his 300th career save.
Yeah! Number 400!
The 0-1 to Sanchez. Changeup grounded weakly. Third base. Deep on the hole. Backhand Blum. The long throw. It's over. How about that? 479 saves for the great Trevor Hoffman.
500 saves for Trevor Hoffman.
Here it is. Swing and a bouncer. Shortstop. Counsell. Throws. Got him. 600 for Trevor Hoffman. There it is. Baseball's all-time saves leader.
Trevor Hoffman saves number 601. 3 up, 3 down.
He's going to have a plaque right next to yours in Cooperstown someday, Mr. Gwynn.
Morning, Trevor Hoffman. How are you? Ready for a big day at the ball game? Yes, sir. Okay, sir. I've been thinking about this for a good month or so now, and just kind of know how important this is to the Padre organization, and how important this is to my family. It's bigger than us. You know, this is about San Diego. It's about something that's going to get put up in the stadium forever, and it's a big moment for the Hoffies, and I'm proud that you guys are going to be a part of it with us. Good afternoon. Nice to see you very much. Can't prepare for this, you know. By walking away from the game when I did, I was comfortable with the decision. The team's success has always been something that has kind of been a priority, and to have been on the field at Qualcomm, at Petco to celebrate clinching and playoff berth kind of separates some of the individual stuff that I've been able to be a part of. This is like being in this, we're about the 6th inning right now. You see the game building, you know you got a shot at getting in there.
Yes! 479!
I know that breaking Lee's record at 479 late in September, packed house, independent race, to do both, it's kind of great on both ends because everybody was so excited for the team to be doing well. They're excited for me to notch a personal milestone, and so it was kind of the best of both worlds in a sense. 18 years shouldn't have gone as fast as it did, but in thinking back of being drafted and being so green, and the Reds locker room with so many great players and a team that had success in winning the World Series in 1990, it was a situation where you didn't say much. You sat in the corner and observed. Getting the opportunity to go to Florida, you make your big league debut and first time in a Major League Park as a player, kind of an awe. You know, I think that a new expansion team, it's kind of ironic that the Florida Marlins are in town, that this celebration is going to happen. But I remember vividly the color of the stadium because they're so bright down there in South Florida. The sky was crystal blue with some white puffy clouds, and the grass couldn't have been any greener. A ton of fun was there. It was great to be acknowledged as a rookie, but to be gone by June 25th coming to San Diego was a shock. My older brother Glenn said, hey, it's going to be the best move of your career, and as it turned out, it was. There was no regret. My career is validated with the work that I put in, for the lessons that I was taught by Mom and Dad. And her mantra was always, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing right. The numbers are unfortunately, numbers, they're not going to be what defines you. And I think that's what's been great about my wife keeping me grounded, and us as a family keeping our faith in God, and understanding that while your baseball card might be a compilation of many, many years of playing this game, there's bigger issues that are what you're about. Regardless of what those statistics ranks are at now or 10 years or 100 years from now, it was a blessing to be able to play as long as I did. I enjoyed every facet of it, and there's zero chance I would change anything.